No, the roadies would pull people too, and that was always we had actually have rules because other bands were very permissive. They would let their roadies go into the crowd.
Yes.
Basically, backstage passes. And
right.
Hey, if you blow me right now, I'll take you back and meet so-and-so.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
They will actually blow the roadie?
Oh, yeah.
But then why would you ever want to meet that girl? I would never want to meet a girl who just blew another guy.
You don't know enough rock stars to understand. Some of them are not very discerning.
No, yes, I understand that.
I mean,
but it's interesting that
we're talking about a wide standard here.
It is interesting though that almost all the rock stars get married. Like it must be either.
Oh, I see where you're going with that.
Well, I don't know where I'm going with that because I'm not sure whether it's because, well, I've just had all the pussy I could possibly get, which is ridiculous because every day you're alive, it's a new day. I mean, it's like saying I've had all the food I could eat. No, because I'm alive tomorrow and I'll need it again, is one way to look at it. Or they just found that, I think a lot of what it is that the girls who want rock stars are very young, right?
No.
Like I say, they're not all young.
Remember Grand Funk's song, Connie, Doing All Right? Yeah, we're an American band.
Oh, I know.
There's a line in there about Connie.
Connie
from Wichita or whatever.
Who was Connie?
She was the famous groupie who, when the bus would pull into town, would blow the whole crew and the band.
Oh God!
It was a known thing, and so we were
every band.
Yes.
Oh,
and the crew.
Of course.
Which is an important point to delineate.
I see.
Okay, so we were once playing a gig, '93, and we were pulling in. Somebody said, "Connie's here," and I'm like, "Who's Connie?" It was like, "Oh my God, we're going to meet Connie," like from the song. And Connie came on the bus and was ready to roll.
And you're saying
I was horrified.
And you're saying she was not young?
No, she would have been mid-40s.
Mid-40s?
Oh yeah.
So Connie the MILF. Was she even a MILF? Okay. Well,
I would not call her a MILF.
But okay, so my impression is wrong because I think music, of course, excites teenagers. That's who rock and roll is for. By the time you're in your 20s, your tastes have broadened out. You still like your rock and roll, but the people who go nuts, I
see where you're going.
I was that. You're 14.
I remember one person in my band saying, I'd spent the night with some girl and somebody in the band said, "What happened?" And I said, "We just literally stayed up all night and talked." And somebody else in the band chimed in and said, "Well, why the fuck would you want to do that? Why would you want to take them in your room and talk all night?" I said, "Well, that's just kind of where it went."
Right.
And we had a really nice conversation and somebody I would probably want to see again.
Did you?
I don't remember because it happened more than once. Because I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't that into that.
Well, then it couldn't have been that memorable a conversation that you had that night, or else that person would have become someone in your life.
There's, what's the old term? Shooting fish in a barrel. The idea. Okay. I'm not even if somebody presents themselves to me on a platter, obviously I'm not single now, but if they did, I'm not that interested.
No, but I'm saying, you said you had a nice conversation that lasted all night.
Yeah.
If I had a conversation like that with someone, and I certainly have in my life, I would then want to know that person more than that for that just one night because we had such a good time.
That's what I'm saying.
But it sounds like you didn't pursue that.
But that happened to me hundreds of times, you see what I'm saying?
So everyone you talked to, it was interesting like that?
No, but what I'm saying is sometimes people get themselves into a dynamic. It's like you don't really know what you're getting into until you're into it. Right. It's one thing to be in the crowd and somehow somebody grabs you out of the crowd. Next thing you're hanging with the band and everybody's drinking champagne, and next thing you know, it's somebody's hotel. Yeah, on the surface it looks like it is what it is. It's a hookup.
Right.
But it doesn't have to be about that. And sometimes you find magical things, and sometimes they bore the shit out of you, and you think, why the fuck did I let this person in my room?
Well,
am I making any sense?
A total sense, because I certainly understand being not in music, but having the same situation of there are people who want to know you because they already know a lot about what you are about. You've already shared a lot of your thinking. So it's like a dating app times a million that does all the work for you, that like they're trying to match you up with people who have the same interests or think like you.
Yeah.
And obviously somebody who's your fan is going to be somebody who's already there. So it's like,
So I was never into the, let's call it for what it is. It's a bit dehumanizing when you allow yourself to be overly objectified, and then in return you objectify the person because you don't know them and they put themselves in front of you.
why is that objectifying? If somebody likes you because it's as if,
I'm a bit of a snob is what I'm
I
getting to.
see. No, you're not. If it's like if you could go around personally and sing your song to somebody, and then that really reached them. It got to them emotionally. The lyrics resonated. Okay, that would be a great basis for, look, I want to know you. I like your song. There's nothing cynical about that. This just happened in our modern world on a mass level because millions of people can hear it on the radio and buy the records and so forth. So, but it doesn't change the fact that what's getting to someone, or when I do comedy, what's getting to somebody is, oh, I like the way your brain works. I like what you're saying. I like your message. I like your words. That to me is pure. Now, what you do with it can be impure.
Okay, so here's where we agree. That's what I'm saying. I tended more towards the intellectual and emotional side of the equation rather than the physical.
Yeah, you can be a real asshole, and it's like, oh, this person really likes me because of what I sang or what I've said on the air. I'll just use that to get in their pants right away. That's a creepy way to handle it.
Well, what I'm also saying is I didn't like being objectified in that scenario. On stage, it's fine because that's a shadow play.
But you're not being objectified. You're being liked for what you. I mean, yeah, the other people.
I'm not arguing with you. It didn't then feel that way to me.
There are people who also do like you just because they know you're famous and and a rock star. So I've certainly had people who like profess to be big fans, and like I just want to say, I can tell who's actually a fan. You know that it's like, you think in this group we're in, it's a very cool thing to be my fan. So you're saying that. I know you're not really. I know you really don't watch my show. It's okay. I don't care. But I can tell when you're, lying. The easiest way I can tell a lie is when people say, I watch your show every night because it's on once a week. That's like, wow, you really do like me if you watch the same show every night for a week. But, well, that's a more enlightening look into something I've been curious about my whole life than I've ever gotten to.
Here it is. I've lived it for sure.
Hey, thanks for watching the clip. Hit the subscribe button now so you never miss out on our Club Random content that's posted daily.